Hello everyone, this is Eric at RC Monster Garage. Look what we got here today. Yes, I know you know those two vehicles, but some people don't. So what I want to show you is a comparison between a 1/8 scale to a 1/5 scale. I have here the Arrma Notorious, that if you know the hobby and you know Arrma a little bit, Arrma Notorious and Arrma Outcast. It's initially the same vehicle. The bodies just have minimal changes that they did to it, but it's the same thing. So I decided, because I have both of them in the shop, to take the time and show you the little difference. So let's start with those big tires. Look at this, look at this. Let's put a ruler. This thing measure about 8-inch tall. This one is measuring about 6.5-inch tall. This is pretty big difference. Now this thing, this is 12-inch tall. This thing is about 10.5 to 11 kind of thing, but we don't care about this. Let's look what else we got here. So those two, very cool vehicle. A lot of people going on speed. How fast can those guys go? So the biggest car that you see here in front of you is slower. This is about 55 miles an hour. And yes, all the people that like gonna write bad comment and say, oh, am I doing 100? Out the box. 4S twice, 8S. So it's gonna be 2 batteries of 4S. You will do 55 miles an hour. That's it. On this one, 3S times 2, 6S. You will run about 60 plus, maybe 62, depending actually on temperature outside, believe it or not. If it's cooler or warmer, your engine gonna run different. Cooler weather run faster, by the way. Anyway, so when you look at those two vehicles, let's see what they got inside. Let's start with the smaller parts that kind of neglectable. Those Arrma body clips, okay? They're very cool, and they come with those kind of rubber band assist so you don't lose your body, okay? So those are on the smaller 1/8 scale. That it's not small, it's pretty big, but this is bigger. Now on the bigger one, because it's a heavy body and getting a lot of impact, they added over here those pieces of support for the plastic. Also it's preventing from the body to tear off when you flip and it's got stuck on something. So you have to remove those. You have it all 4 corners. Before I'm gonna remove the body, and please watch the video all the way to the end, because you're gonna miss a lot of cool stuff, and I have a couple messages that I'm putting through the video that you cannot miss, because you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life. Okay, so what we got here, this is the frame that they put in the Notorious and the Outcast, the small one, the 1/8 scale, versus the big massive one that you have on the 1/5 scale. And the 5th scale also have those top slides over here. And now let's see how those top slides work from the inside. When you remove the body and look on the inside, you can see that there is like this big X over here and 2 sliders that going through the body. There is a hole over there, and it's going through the body and preventing you from destroying the body while you crash. And then with this part right there, we look up to this part right here, and this will preventing you from breaking your car when you're flipping it. Now when you look on the small one, you have only the rear that it's pretty good, and then you still have some X support. It's kind of look like a double Y, to be honest with you. And you have here where it's gonna be sitting on top of the car. So that's being said, let's look away and see what else we can see. So let's dive in first to the power system, because the power system is what most of you guys like. So right here we have the new Spectrum, and this new Spectrum system is 160 amp. It is a 6 and 8S system. You got here a huge Spectrum motor with a huge Spectrum fan. A lot of you are going to put double fan on it, I'm sure. This is like 1250 kV, and this is the Spectrum 1200 series brushless motor. And of course you got here the sliding motor mount and the big transmission here. And let's look real quick on the smaller car that you already know from before. You got here your BLX 6S brushless system, ESC, and you have the 2050 brushless motor, no fan, no cooling ribs, nothing on it, and yet it's developing 60 plus miles an hour. Now when you look at the wires, let's look at the wires real quick. You have the plugs here in case you're gonna run 6S one battery versus 2.3S. that I highly recommend to run 2.3S. So if you have one cell die, you just replace one battery and not two. Those wires are a little bit thinner, and they don't have the monitor wire that usually go to this tiny hole over there on this model. So don't spend the money on the Spectrum Smart battery for this. Will not do anything for you. Over here, a little bit thicker gauge of the wire, and you have the gray wire going to the center, going here, and this is what will monitor and make the system into a smart system. Now let's go and look at some stuff that actually make it into a big monster. First of all, the big bumper over here, and over here, yeah, a small tiny bumper. Over here you do have sway bar, and here you don't have it. I think that it will help to have it over here because it's a big massive truck and it's very heavy. I think it's really needed. Huge servo with a huge servo saver. The servo saver right here is much bigger than the entire servo that this thing have inside of there. Now, frame. You have the frame with the top support, and you have a lower kind of A-arm support kind of thing that they did over here, preventing from the vehicle to fold. It's going like top and bottom, and it's aluminum. And then over here you just have one rod that goes side to side with two plastic supports on the bottom. For this vehicle it's more than enough. It's pretty strong, you don't need it. But over here they have the double stack, so it's another piece of frame to make it much stronger. So when you do jump, and this is going to be like 30 something pounds, so you need a lot of support so it's not going to collapse. Now look at this big massive shock tower. This big massive shock tower is really nice, it's beautiful design, and it's still plastic versus this is aluminum, and the aluminum over here it's pretty nice, but you need a little bit more on the big one, and the gun with plastic probably to give it a little bit more support. Okay, I'm jumping in to show the wheel sizes. Yes, let's put the vehicle one near the other. So from here it's look very close, but not. Look at it from the front, the big difference in those two wheels. The big fifth scale is just massive and crazy big, and it's front and rear. If you put them, like you see the wheelbase, this is how much bigger the vehicle one from another. This is when they stand in straight line with the rear wheels at the same position. Now let's look at the shock. So those shocks you already saw, they're pretty big, and then on the back, look how complicated this entire rear system here with those quick release. They have pin quick release for those support bars, versus this that it's very simple and still very rigid, very strong, very good. And then if you want to see the inside over here for the rear differential, this is how it's look over here versus what you got over there that is just like a regular drive cup. And when you go all around the vehicle, you can see from the side, let's zoom out a little bit, it's definitely a big size difference between those two vehicles. And then when you get into the details and you look right here and you see the steering knuckles, how big they are, and then you go to the previous version and you see how small. This is just held by a small clip over here to support, and here you have those massive aluminum pieces holding it for adjustment so it can stand a big drop from a big height when you go to the skate park. So this is overall real quick the big comparison between those two beautiful big vehicle from Arrma. This is at our shop right now, the Notorious, the 1/8 scale. They're going for $549, and we do have them available. And then the big vehicle is going for $899, and those prices, of course, you have to pay tax like anywhere else in America. In any website that you go, you're gonna have to pay tax. contact the shop before you come in here to set up an appointment so you can come and get yours. Now I have an announcement for you guys. So depend when you're seeing this video, today is Friday, August. We're gonna get next week some of the new Arrma Felony, the speedrun car. We have 6 of them coming. You guys can put a deposit to get one. Don't say you did not know, and this is why you need to watch my videos all the way to the end to get all those small messages. Don't forget, like, subscribe and share. Let's put the body back. This is my truck. I can abuse it as much as I want. This is the big brand new Arrma Outcast in comparison to the smaller one, 1/8 scale. It's funny that I'm calling a 1/8 scale smaller truck. See you on my next video. This is Arik at RC Monster Garage. See you guys. Bye. Don't forget to write comment below. When you write a comment, you can win stuff, but be nice.